Hiya, and welcome back to Glory Hounds, the game that teaches us two whole things. This is the only time that I ever come up. The first thing it teaches us is if you're going out to wear appropriate clothing. And the second thing it teaches us is do not mod this. Anyways, let's just hop right in. You really think he is the one? He faced an armed enemy, alone, without a moment's hesitation. I figured even you would be impressed. Oh, what happened one morning? Not to go into detail, but it was a huge pain in the ass. Just a lot of decompiling and screenshotting. Wasn't really difficult, just a pain. Hiya! Figured even you would be impressed. He caught common robber unawares and lived to tell the tale. He was reckless, careless, lucky. Had it been a real battlefield, lighten up, sunshine, you're taking this even more seriously than I am. And you're not taking things seriously enough. One thing to play vigilante, but to place trust, life in the hands of this untrained stranger would not be prudent, sir. Yeah, it was just repetitive. You forgot, my friend, the greatest men and women on Earth were untrained strangers once. As was I, as were you. All it takes to be a hero is a nose for trouble and the balls to go look for it. Alright, very well. We will see if he has potential. Knew you'd come around. I am not around. I'm not even in vicinity. But I am intrigued, I suppose. No nos pueden ver juntos, Leonardo. Sabes que me caso al amanecer. I feel like I butchered a lot of that. Mi rosa del desierto, mi niegas de mis deseos hablar, al menos permítele por favor a mi corazón cantar. Yo te change channel. That would be the smart thing to do. Let's just have the AI actually read that.
Self-voicing enabled. Otter on TV. No nos puden verjuntos, Leonardo. Sabes que mi caso al amanecer. Wolf on TV. Mi rosa del desierto. Mi niegas de mis deseos hablar. Al menos permitele, por favor, a mi corazón canta. Wolf on TV. Yo te triple A.
The realization that that's an Echo reference.
Self-voicing disabled.
Change channel. From the creators who brought you the stars to the stage 3 times before, comes another galaxy-spanning adventure like no other. Ad Astra on Ice. Relive the... Change channel. Has this ever happened to you? I'd love to buy a car, but most models are so small. There's just no room for a neck. When I drive, my trunk gets tangled around the steering wheel. I've had 3 accidents and counting. What do I do? Brevard brings a solution to your doorstep with his patented change channel. Please. And now for the local news. I'm about to change the channel again when Mrs. De Bruin's storefront appears on the screen. A robbery in the Sweetwater district tonight was narrowly thwarted by 2 unlikely heroes. I swallow the potato chip I've been chewing on for a good while. I almost fall right off the sofa when I lean forward. The situation seemed dire for 63-year-old store owner Maria De Bruin after a robber claimed to work for the Saltwater Syndicate forced her against the counter, holding her at gunpoint. It's the latest in a string of recent robberies claimed by the Syndicate. Police suspect... As it switches over to security footage, my phone lights up like a beacon. Willem's calling. Yeah? So I'm watching the news. Can you believe they're rebooting Ad Astra again? Don't you go changing the subject on me! That bloke what stopped a robbery at Mrs. De Bruin's place, that wouldn't happen to be you now, would it? I give the screen a glance. Sure enough, there I am, bottle in hand. At least they took the courtesy of blurring out my face. Not that it matters with all my spots. That could be anyone. You leave that lady alone right this instant! Anyone. I thought I told you to give me a ring if anything happened. Shit, right, I was going to text him when I got home. I'm sorry. Are you alright? You're not hurt, are you? Just a few scrapes. I'm glad Mrs. De Bruin is okay. Can't say the same for her store, though. Who's the big lad? I look at the screen again just as Don Hound breaks through the window and strikes a pose. Oh, he just showed up, called himself the Don Hound. Don Hound? I bite down on another potato chip. Yeah, he had a costume on and everything, like the Stinger. Except the Stinger's outfit isn't quite as, whatever that was. Frankly, I'm still processing it. Crazy. I thought he was a stripper or something. Hiya. I wish. What? Nothing. I hear him grind his beak. Anyway, I would have died if he hadn't been there. I'm glad you're still with us. You've still got a bar tab open. Thanks for checking in. I appreciate it. Oh, fuck. Wrong window. You know Lou's gonna want to hear this too. Knowing them, they probably already read about it on 10 different news sites. They'll want to hear it from you personally. It's the snide remarks I'm worried about. Well, that's what friends are for, ain't they? Fine, I'll let them know what happened at work tomorrow. Attaboy. Good night, Alex. See you at the hen. Night, Willie. In other news, a spokesperson for Raoul Brevard, CEO of Brevard Enterprises, has announced plans for the company's expansion beyond Batavian borders. Change channel. I stretch and yawn, shutting my eyes for what feels like a blink. But I can't get my eyelids open again. This is weird. I wasn't sleepy at all 2 seconds ago. And the next thing I know, I'm somewhere else entirely. It's so dark, I can't see my hands in front of my face. I can hear the sound of water dripping in the distance. The pattern is very irregular. I prick my ears up and hear another sound, a more rhythmic pounding against the ceiling right above me. It's softer, more distant, and it moves back and forth, like footsteps. I try walking, reaching out to see if I can maybe find a wall to follow, but all I find is more inky black void. Sniffing the air, I immediately retch. Smells like shit. No, worse. What is this place? Someone's basement? Someone's here at last, it seems. Who was that? Hard to talk while dry heaving. It's good to see you. I've been waiting for some time. The voice is coming from all around me, like it's inside my head. What the fuck? I try pinching myself. This is no dream. What do you want? You. Get in line. You must understand. That's an understatement. I don't understand anything. What are you, a ghost? Your behavior is unbecoming of you, Alex de Rouge. You're here because you feel lost, unappreciated, helpless. A ghost with a major in psychology. Great! There are many like you. This city has lost hope. But it is not completely without. Stop doing that. Stop talking through me. It needs someone to nurture it, someone to protect it. It needs you. The voice rings in my ear after it finishes talking. You will come here again when the time is right. The irregular dripping grows louder, as do the footsteps, until it's a cacophony of indescribable noises. Something shakes me and I lurch forward, out of the darkness, so fast it leaves me reeling and gasping, falling over. Buddy! Hey! Buddy! Buddy! The ground underneath me is soft. It takes me a moment to realize it's a carpet. My eyes snap open. I didn't even know they were closed. A blurry shape hangs over my head. I recognize those bright colors. Max? I sit up, banging my head against the coffee table and knocking myself flat again. Almost got another concussion there. It's a moth! I think that's a moth. I love him. Shit, you're really out of it, dog dude. Hangover? What happened? You tell me, man. I walked in on you tossing and turning and moaning on the couch. Then you just fell off. Fucking hilarious. Wish I'd recorded it. I rub my eyes. My head hurts like hell. And I don't know whether to blame the coffee table or the nightmare. I didn't wake you up, did I? Dude, it's 10 in the morning. You're up before noon? Have to start making an effort if I want to get through an entire season of Pretty Bunny Angel-Hearted Day, my guy. I have a lot to catch up on. I look at the crushed potato chips scattered all around me. Shit, what time did you say it was? 10? Oh no. Shit. I scramble to my feet, rushing to the bathroom. I don't look at my phone. I don't dare look at my phone. Brush my teeth, fix my fur. Buddy? Can't talk, gotta head to work. I run a comb through the fur between my eyes. Doesn't help. Save a spot for me on the couch. I might just lose my job today. Join the club. Do you need me to make dinner tonight? No, please no. I'll, just get some takeout. Gotcha. When I decide to look and smell presentable, I rush for the door. Max has already taken his usual spot on the couch, where he'll most likely stay until the sun goes down. Bye! See you later, roomie. Excuse me, passing through. Hey, watch it. Sorry. Whoever said they hate Mondays has clearly never experienced a Saturday in Shippersburg. Weave your way through the never-ending crowd of tourists and Dodge cyclists who never heard of traffic lights long enough, and I'm sure anyone would agree. Not to mention the noise. I'd cut through the canals, but those are so thick with people I can't see the bottom. Once I finally near the train stop, I'm all but sprinting, barely looking where I'm going. It's a mistake I regret almost immediately. Ah! I love that face. A whirlwind of papers scatters to the floor as I collide with the woman walking the other way. I land right on my tailbone, pain ripping through my body. The woman's still standing, with barely a scratch it seems. She's staring right at me, but she doesn't look angry at least. Hard to tell behind the glasses. Good heavens, are you quite alright, love? Her voice is soft, high-pitched, almost princess-like. Hiya. I'm sorry. I expect to be scolded, but all I hear is a soft giggle. No harm done. It seems we were both a little lost in thought, weren't we? She reaches out, helping me get back up. Her grip's pretty strong for such a small lady. I dust myself off, a scrap of paper that was sticking to my jeans fluttering to the ground. Nope, doggers again. I managed to nab it just before it flies out of reach. It looks like some sketches of people. The paper's frayed and yellowed. It must be pretty old. Nice drawing. Oh, this isn't my work. I'm just bringing these over to the office. I hand it back to her and kneel down on the ground to help her gather the rest of the papers, which she organizes and stuffs neatly into a worn-looking satchel. Some of those look like letters, others look like notes. Only some are written in Batavian. Not just any Batavian either. Old Batavian. This stuff's 100 years old at least! Once the lady's gathered all of the papers, she closes her satchel and proceeds to beam brightly at me. Thank you so much for your help, sir. Hey, it was my fault to begin with! What kind of job has you carrying around things like that anyway? If it's not yours, I mean. Oh, nothing special, really. I'm the curator of Opgedoect, the art gallery. Wow. We have an assortment of works from artists all over the world, past and present, famous and unknown. Nothing special. Sounds like a cushy gig to me. I've heard about it, with the expensive dress, right? The Money Talks gown, yes. Another giggle. One of many fine pieces in our collection, as I'm sure you're aware. Really? I've never been. Really now? In that case, you should absolutely come by sometime. We'd be more than happy to have you. No admission required. But I'm a stranger, isn't that, Oh my gosh, where are my manners? She grabs my hand immediately, shaking it hard. I'm Fenna. No last name. I'm Alex. Presto, we're no longer strangers. Delighted to meet you. You still seem a little strange to me. I hear a whir beside me, and spot the tram arriving at the stop from the corner of my eye. Oh, there's my ride. I suppose I should be on my way as well. She lets go of my hand, and when I open it, sure enough, there's a ticket for 2 to the art gallery. God, first a store robbery, then a weird dream, and now a guerrilla marketing trick? What is my life anymore? It was, nice meeting you, Fenna. Likewise, Mr. DeRouge. With the wave, she continues on, and it's only once I'm on the train that I'm on the tram that I realize I never told her my last name. What in the... By the time I step off the tram and get to the office, I'm already tired, out of breath, and more than a little icky. It's just like any other workday, really. I still haven't checked my phone. If I'm going to be fired, I want to be fired in person. I so hope I don't get fired. Why didn't I just call in sick? It's flu season, right? Plenty of people get sick in this time of year. I watch the automatic doors open like a prisoner watching a guillotine's blade being raised. I shudder and step forward, waving at a turtle passing me without looking. I hear the familiar clinking of Lou's teaspoon before I see them, sitting behind the reception desk, looking anywhere but at the door until I clear my throat. Alex! Where have you been? It's almost 11! It's a long story, believe you me. You tell me. First I have to read online that you stopped a robbery last night. I swear I was going to tell you. And now I have your supervisor breathing down my neck about you. Do you have any idea how long I had to cover for you? I don't know. 2 hours. Who does he think I am, your nanny? I tried calling, but you wouldn't pick up. Their frantic stirring finally slows down. I was worried, you know. I'm sorry. They look me up and down. It's okay. Must have been a shitty night for you. You don't know the half of it. Thanks for covering for me. You want to thank me? Grab me a new coffee. They lift their cup. This one's gotten cold. That was beautiful. This is it. I've passed the office 1,000 times before, but in my 10 years of working here, I've only been in once. I was usually on time. Until today. Mostly well behaved. Until today. Typically worse. Typically wore the uniform. Until today. Alright, no other choice. I go in expecting the worst. It turns out even that was optimistic. A few minutes of verbal abuse later, and I find myself in the hallway again. Unemployed. Years of loyal service right down the shitter. My ears are still ringing. My supervisor was yelling loud enough for the entire floor to hear. No point sticking around here anymore, I guess. I hope I can somehow avoid Lou on the way out. I'm in no mood to talk to anyone right now. I start to make my way back to the elevator when I notice a guy standing just down the hallway. Hello. A Rottweiler, shorter than I am, but a lot stockier. He's dressed more formally than most of the people around the office, which makes him stand out quite a bit. Great, you'll definitely have heard that little exchange. At least, I think so. He's engrossed in a comic book right now, though his eyes do flick in my general direction when I stomp towards him. I really don't feel like talking to anyone. I just want to get to the elevators. Rough day on the job? Great. Just what I was hoping for. He flips another page. Jeez. Not a good working environment. It's not an issue I've seen before. Want to talk about it? I feel like I know that voice. Rather, I feel like I should know that voice, but I'm so frazzled I can't recall a thing. I feel like quite a lot of jobs in the United States. Not really, no. Weird thing to ask someone you don't know. Is that true? From what I could hear out in the hallway, it got pretty heated in there. Of course he heard it. As if this morning hasn't been humiliating enough already. I got fired, okay? Happy now? He finally looks up from the comic, eyebrows furrowed. Fired? I wasn't expecting... I mean... I'm so sorry. Yeah, so if you don't mind, I'm just going to go home. And shop for a box of tissues and a bucket of ice cream along the way. Maybe 2 buckets. I think they're on sale this week. Ah, right, well, don't let me keep you. He does a little curtsy, comic book in hand. I only feel slightly mocked. I'll see you around, Spot. Spot? His voice sounded a little different that time, almost like... I freeze, but he's already walking off, turning his head one more time to look at me. If you're free the rest of the day, might I suggest visiting Opgadoect? They have a stunning new collection on display that can really turn a bad day around. What? He turns the corner. Hey, wait! I try to follow him, but he's nowhere to be seen. He called me Spot. Surely he couldn't be... Was he the guy from last night? Nothing in that conversation made sense. He looked like he was waiting for me, but how did he know I'd be here? At this time? I did tell him that Don Hound character I work in repairs at Brevard. But why would someone like him just come here... So, why would someone like him come here just to gloat about me getting canned? All he did was give me a clumsy cryptic message. Turn a bad day around. I fished the ticket Fenna gave me earlier out of my pocket. It looks normal enough to me. I turn it around in my palm. Something handwritten on the back. I hadn't noticed it before with all the commotion and the getting fired from my lifelong job, but it's definitely there. It's an address in Shippersburg, but not one I know off the top of my head. Somewhere in the freshwater district. It's underlined with a fancy signature and 2 words. Signed, D.H. Don Hound. So definitely the masked gimp suit vigilante. I'm not seriously contemplating going to an address scribbled on the back of a card given to me by a total stranger, am I? I look at my supervisor's office door. Right. Nothing left to lose anyway. But first, I'd better stop by reception. Maybe Lou knows something. Company gossip rarely gets past them. I approach the reception desk probably for the last time. Lou is sipping a cup of coffee as usual, glued to the reception's holographic screen. I clear my throat. Alex, so how did it go? Let's just say we can hang out a lot more from now on because my schedule's completely clear for the foreseeable future. They frown. I'm so sorry, Alex. I tried to smooth things over as best I could. Don't know what I'm going to do now. I can help you look for job postings later if that helps. There's plenty of people in the city who could use a hand. I'll take just about anything, even your desk job offer. That desperate? Very. We'll see. How about I take you out on a night on the town? Just the two of us. Thanks, Lou. That sounds great. And we'll go see that musical. That sounds less great. Hiya. They laugh. What about your kids? I'll get my sister to watch them for a night. Shouldn't be a problem. I'll give you a call later. Just take it easy for now. I notice I've been getting sidetracked. Actually, there's something important I wanted to ask you. Lou's ears perk up. A dead giveaway they're hungry for some juicy news. Did you see a Rottweiler come by the reception earlier by any chance? Fancy clothes, pretty buff, kinda handsome? Lou looks pensive and takes another sip of coffee. Not that I recall. That's odd. They usually notice everything. And the main entrance is the only way into the building for security reasons. Not to mention the clearance needed to use the elevators. You're trying to score a hot date? I don't dip my pen in the company ink, Lou. Does it count as company ink now that I'm unemployed? Technically not, right? They raise an eyebrow at me. Last year's delivery guy would beg to differ. I know it sounds crazy, but there was something off about him. It's probably just one of the new hires. I haven't heard anything about new hires. Only new fires as far as I'm concerned. Well, we are expanding. He looked kind of old to be new here, and, well, rich. He had a suitcase and everything. They lower their voice and put down their cup. What, you think Brevard showed up to personally send you on your merry way? Their tone is sarcastic, but it still leaves me wondering. I'm not sure. Wait, you don't seriously think... I gotta go. Catch you at the hen? I'll keep a seat warm for you. Thanks. I turn for the exit. This is a very entertaining game. Turn right and your destination will be on your left. I'm pretty far from civilization now. I mean, I'm nearing city limits. Nothing but farmland out this way. There wasn't even any train or tram stops nearby either. I had to walk for 30 minutes just to get here. And for what? I don't see anything even remotely resembling a hero's hideout here. Just an ancient-looking house with an overgrown yard behind a rusty old gate. Actually, that's pretty high up on the potential hideout spot list. Still, this is the address written on the ticket. I yank the gate open. The banshee-like shriek of the old metal is painful. It shuts behind me. No turning back now. Walking down the cobblestone path leading up to the mansion, I pass statues that have all seen better days. They each depict canines in combat poses, some carrying weapons that have lost their edge. These look older than the stuff I see at the museum. Maybe it's just my nerves, but I feel like they're watching me. Judging me. I sure as hell hope this place isn't haunted. I reach the front door, which looks like something straight out of a historical drama. It's got no doorbell, just a big old pair of knockers. No signs of life inside from what I can see through the windows. No cars that I can see either. I knock on the door. I must be going insane. Complete silence. Did my GPS lead me astray? I knock again. This time, I swear I can at least hear something inside, barely audible over the sound of the rain starting to trickle out of the sky behind me. I'm about to declare the mission a bust when, with a loud creak, the doors finally open, bathing me in a warm light and bringing me face to face with the largest crow I've ever seen in my life. I know! He's dressed to the nines, no, tens, face and beak scratched and scarred. His face is framed rather nicely by a pair of glasses. I guess this is a butler. A very dashing butler who looks almost, how should I put it, nerdy? His eyes drill into the very core of my being. I'm taller than most, but I actually have to look up at him slightly. I feel small next to him, insignificant, scared. I'd mentioned catching a glimpse of bulging muscles, but that's all I see. Muscles. Guess household chores are good for something. Good afternoon. What can I do for you? A Russ accent. So this is the guy Don Hound was talking to. Combined with his deep voice, it only makes him more imposing. Hi, I'm... Master already donates to charities. I'm not here for donations. I got this. Master has no interest in essential oils or herbal supplements either. God, no, look, I'm Alex DeRouge. I got this ticket with an address on it telling me to come here. It's only now that I realize how stupid that sounds. Someone shoot me. Is the robber from yesterday still around? Give me ticket. Wait, he bought it? I fish the ticket out of my pocket and pass it over. Damn. He scans the back of it with one eye. The other remains strangely still. He gives me a once-over. We have been waiting for you. There's a hint of warmth in his voice now that wasn't there before. If I wasn't still a nervous wreck, I'd say it was almost alluring. Maybe it's the accent. You have? For quite some time, yes. He steps aside, holding the door open for me. Hurry, there's a storm coming. You don't gotta tell me twice. Right, don't want your place to smell like wet dog. Do not worry, I am used to it. I sidle past him. He smells like citrus and pepper. I don't know if it's cologne or something he's been cooking. Definitely not a bad scent. The foyer's richly decorated, beautiful red walls lined with dark wooden doors and bookcases that are all completely stacked like a library from a fantasy book. My eyes were drawn to an impressive bust of a canine sitting in an alcove on the far wall. Ooh. This is very fancy. Very, very fancy room. Unlike the statues outside, this one seems to have retained its original bronze color. But just like the statues outside, it stares right at me, its eyes following me no matter which direction I look at it from. I will fetch Master. Please wait here, and do not touch anything under any circumstances. I will be back shortly. Yes, sir. As he turns away, I can't help but notice his very defined features. He carries himself with elegance, especially for such a large man. He leaves through one of the doors. His footsteps echo around the large room. Instantly, I feel compelled to explore. I know he literally just told me not to touch anything, but I've never been in a rich people house before, and there's just so much to see. I'm pretty sure I could spend a year in this place and not get bored. I scan the shelves looking for anything that catches my eye. Are these comic books? They sure look like comic books. This one has the entire Stinger collection. Would they notice if I snuck an issue home with me? Focus, Alex. Don't touch anything. A minute passes, then another. That ticking clock's starting to get on my nerves. I try some of the doors, but they're all locked, even the one the butler went through. Aw, I was kind of looking forward to snooping. My eyes fall on the bust again. It's still staring at me with those empty bronze eyes, almost begging for me to investigate. Walking up to it, I catch a familiar scent. Ginger and lime, just like the Don Hound last night. While the rest of the ample bust is practically sparkling, there's a noticeable smudged handprint right on top of its head. I tilt my head. It's bothering me. I roll my sleeve over my hand and place it on the dog's head. Before I can get to scrubbing, I hear a loud click. The bust gives way under my paw, head sinking a bit, like I just pressed a button. I'm about to step back when all of a sudden... Ah! The floor drops under me. I try to stop myself, but I've built up too much momentum. The chute-like structure evens out into a slide, and I'm hurtling down at maximum velocity. I keep screaming, but after a while, there's no air left in my lungs. These have been the worst 24 hours of my entire life. By the time I hit a soft surface at the bottom, I'm all but traumatized, eyes still shut tight. Whoa, 3 minutes and 34 seconds. The voice is distant, but there's no mistaking it. That's the Don Hound. I believe you owe me 20 euros, sir. And the butler, too. What? I push myself up, but my arms are still shaking, and I just end up collapsing on the padded, leathery floor again. I can't believe what I see when I open my eyes. It's like the set of a sci-fi flick in here. Screens showing security footage and city streets, machines, buttons, flashing lights, and levers everywhere. The air's so stuffy in here it's almost hard to breathe. The butler's manning a large computer at the far end of the room. There's what appears to be a ventilation system along the ceiling and a thick metal pipe leading down into the floor. Is this part of the mansion too? Just how far below ground are we? Just what was that slide? Oh, hello. Need a hand spot? I'm so distracted I don't notice the fuzzy brown hand reaching out to me. I look up at its owner. Come to think of it, I feel dumb for not recognizing him at the office earlier. I scramble to my feet, just glad I'm still in one piece after that. Sore all over, though. You probably have a lot of questions. A few thousand, at least. Yeah, a couple. What the hell's going on here? And I'd be more than happy to answer them. At least someone's tail is wagging. Okay, who are you? Why, I'm known as the Don... who are you really? Right. I suppose I haven't properly introduced myself yet. The butler swivels his swanky office chair around. I advise you not to divulge any unnecessary information, sir. Christ's sake, Milo, he deserves to know. The name is Raoul. Raoul Brevard, CEO of Brevard Enterprises. The sparkling ray of sunshine over there is my butler. Milo Drozdov. Right. Did you say Raoul Brevard? The Brevard? Think of the future, think of Brevard. My boss? That's you? In the flesh. This is a joke, right? Where are the cameras? My eyes dart between the dog and the bird, waiting for them to laugh and admit it, but they don't. My eyes are darting all over the room, scanning for hidden camera crews. Alright, you can all come out now! I feel like a clown. This was a mistake. It's a lot to take in, I know, but it's all true. But no one's ever seen Brevard in person. Precisely. What better cover identity for a masked vigilante? No one would suspect a reclusive millionaire with zero media presence. In comic books, I'd say this is usually the first person to suspect, but now that I'm actually seeing it in real life, I'm utterly floored. You're serious, aren't you? I just told you, I'm Raoul. He laughs, then notices I'm not joining him and stops. Behind him, the butler, Milo, rubs his beak with a groan. Yes, quite serious. Tough crowd. Does this guy think he's a comedian or something? I can't take this anymore. This isn't funny. I traveled halfway across the city to some huge mansion that can't decide if it's fancy or dilapidated. Then I've tumbled down a magic slide into an overgrown basement with security screens everywhere that apparently belongs to one of the richest people in the city. My former employer, who apparently fancies himself a pro wrestler crime fighter at night, and sends me on a breadcrumb trail to the secret lair of his. My gestures are as wild as my mind is. And you're acting like we've just had a casual job interview at the office. What the hell is all this? I've had the worst day of my life, and... Before I can continue my incoherent blathering, the Rottweiler puts his paw firmly on my shoulder. He's strong. The look on his face is serious now. Alex, please calm down. There's kindness and concern in his eyes. I swear to God, those eyes are going to be the death of me. He is, though. I'm sorry. This is probably a lot to take in. I hadn't quite considered that this must all be very unusual for you. That's an understatement if I've ever heard one. I nod. His face softens back into a smile, though not as goofy as before. But there is a reason for everything, I promise. Just hear me out. I feel like I'm about to cry. I take a deep breath. Alright, Mr. Brevard. No need for formalities. Raoul. What is this place? Why am I here? We are currently at secret location, about 50 meters underground. Every hero needs a lair. As for the why, you're here because I want to make you an offer. What kind of offer? Do you remember what happened last night? At the store? He nods. How could I not? What if I told you that was only one of many recent incidents? Hey, yo? He paces towards the row of screens, hands on his back. It's not just the Saltwater Syndicate at work. They're part of a bigger picture. A civilian such as yourself might not notice it, but there are cracks starting to form in our beautiful city. I mean, it's a big city with almost 1 million people. You'd think crime is just a part of the deal. Isn't that what the police are for? Why fight crime yourself? He turns his head towards me. The glare from the screens hits his glasses, and I can't see his eyes behind them. Mrs. De Bruyn is only one of hundreds of innocents targeted this past year alone. Someone needs to take a stand, protect the folks that police can't or won't. Alex DeRouge, last night you showed exemplary courage. Recklessness. Regardless, you saved the life of an innocent woman, as well as my own. I'd like to invite you to join my cause as my assistant. My sidekick, if you will. My jaw has officially hit the floor. When I try to force words out, all I can do is stammer and stutter. You're free to refuse, of course, and pretend this never happened. Milo will take you home. I'll see what I can do to smooth things over with your supervisor, and you can continue living your everyday life. But is that what you want? Or would you rather be part of something bigger? He turns back to me, a hand extended. I look down at it, then back up at him. He's got the same goofy grin on his face as he did last night. Something bigger. I've been stuck so long that just hearing those two words feels like reaching the light at the end of a long tunnel. But then I think back to how it felt helping Mrs. De Bruin last night. How terrified I was. How I almost died! Multiple times! I can't see myself living in fear like that and coming out with a grin that big. Why did I come here in the first place? I bat his hand away, my face falls. I'm sorry. I can't accept this. Why not? I'm not cut out for it like you are. I don't think I've ever been as terrified as I was last night. Believe me, I wouldn't be offering you this job if I didn't think you were the right man for it. Well, I'm not the right man, okay? I sigh. I'm just a fuck-up who dropped out of college because things got too difficult. I'm sure you can do better than that for a sidekick. That's not true. You said I could refuse. I refuse. This is all just getting too much for me. I look past him at the crow, who's gone back to typing on his computer. Hey, can you tell me where the exit is? There's the elevator to your right. Okay, thanks. At least let him drive you home. I walked over here. I can walk back. Just need to clear my head. I dust myself off and brush him aside, tipping my head to Milo as I hit what I assume to be the elevator button. A door opens. It's a pretty small elevator for a place this big. I guess it's only built for 2 people at a time. There's only one button. Up. Good. I'm sorry I couldn't help you. I step inside. Spot. The doors close. I pull on the drawstrings of my hoodie. It's gotten way too cold for comfort. What time is it even? Not that it matters. I don't have anywhere to be without a job anyway. He does, though! So I just walk. Before long, I've left the mansion behind me like a bad dream. That's what the mod is. It's just still images instead of actual videos. As populated as the city streets were this morning, they're completely abandoned now. Not surprising, the rain's coming down hard. That butler wasn't lying about the storm. The sky's almost black and I'm soaked to the bone. But none of that matters. Me, a sidekick. It sounds so amazing on the surface, doesn't it? To be a hero, someone people to look up for protection, a beacon of hope. That's just how it is in the comics. It's so different in real life. I could have died in Mrs. De Bruin's shop. More importantly, she could have died if I'd fucked up in there. Superhero the butler. It's the Batman persona. And this masked vigilante thinks I'm cut out for this business just because I didn't chicken out? Today showed I can't even keep a job, so how does he expect me to keep other people alive? Even at my job, my former job, I was too timid to seize the day, just doing what I was told to do. Trying to keep a low enough profile to not get in trouble with my permanently scowling supervisor. I always did a decent job and that had always been good enough for me. The one time I was in line for something resembling a promotion, I just balked because I didn't know if I could handle the responsibility. Lou and Willem tried so desperately to get me to reconsider, and I've always wondered if I might have had a more successful career if I'd taken that chance. The difference is that if I mess up in repairs, no one dies. Thankfully, even my supervisor's looks can't kill anything other than my self-esteem. Fighting criminals and saving people, though, it's just not my life. It's not just my life on the line. What if I mess up badly enough? What I need is some time to figure things out. I'll find an opportunity again eventually. I head into the nearest store to get some much-needed comfort food. Mostly just ice cream. A couple of days chilling on the couch with Max will do me good. A hero's life is probably overrated anyway, but what if this is my one chance at a better life? What if I really could be more? Something good finally falls into my lap, and I turn tail. This is exactly why I've had the same shit job since high school. It's not like I'd be thrown in the deep as a sidekick. I'd be learning the ropes from a pro and getting paid for it. At least I hope he was going to pay me. I wanted to take Rail on his offer. I really did, but I was so confused and scared and hopeless. Like always. Everyone around me thinks I'm capable of more. Lou, Willie, even Rail. Am I the only one who can't see it? Do I have it in me to take that big of a leap of faith? My mind continues to wander, wondering if I made the wrong call. Wondering if I'll ever have a chance like this again. If I'll ever even have a job again. If anyone would even care. Fuck! I say it loudly, almost shouting it into the void. The only thing that scares me more than jumping in the deep is being left alone at the edge of a cliff after everyone's already gone in. And deep down, I know I'll regret it for the rest of my life if I don't do this. I guess that settles it. Do it. I'm going back. I just hope it's not too late. Oh, fuck. That's an error. Let me just... The mansion looks even creepier than before with these dark clouds hovering up above. This is why you don't mod games, kids. Lightning cracks in the distance as I open the rusty old gate. It gets stuck in the mud, leaving only a tiny space for me to slip through. The statues along the path seem to actually, honest to God, turn their heads as I walk by. At this point, I'm pretty sure they've got cameras installed in them. Or maybe I'm on the brink of a major meltdown. I heard of the front door slipping and sliding over the wet cobblestone. Hello? I bang on the door. It's me! Alex! Open up! No answer. Please! I step back from the door. I'm so exhausted my tongue's lolling out of my muzzle. Please, just give me one more chance. Ah. I hear a laugh coming from behind the door, and then it finally opens. After being outside in the dark for so long... QA team. QA team for the mod, cause I was the only one who worked on it. Pulled out of my ass over the span of 2 hours. After being outside in the dark for so long, the bright light coming from inside practically blinds me. Milo stands in the doorway. He regards me with what looks like a scowl. I can't really tell emotions when it comes to Beaks. 40 minutes and 36 seconds. His expression softens and he steps aside, holding the door open. Less than an hour. I believe you owe me another 20 euros, sir. Rael comes into view with folded arms and the toothiest of smiles. I can't help but smile back at them. A small price to pay. Welcome home, Spot. Or should I call you Duskhound? Duskhound? Came up with it while you were gone. He is very proud of it. Didn't hear any ideas from you, smartass. Only because it is difficult to match a creative genius such as yourself, Master Brevard. Sounds good to me. Really? Really? I mean, it is only the opposite of Dawn. There are other options to consider. Yeah, Duskhound it is! Well, Duskhound, fancy a cup of coffee? Milo just put some on. I'd like that a lot. I, brought ice cream! Oh shit, let me save here real quick. Because I don't know if that was the end of the build. Issue number 1, and... Alex is now part of the I'm involved in shady work because my life went to shit club of FV and pro tags. He is, though. And also, how? Only 2 parts. Literally 2 days ago. 2 days ago. Well, I guess you already know what time. We all already know what time it is. Yeah, fair point. It is a very recent game. Yeah. Anyways, to Twitter. Yay. Yeah, I thought so too. It was out since like July. We're back in the Twitter land. Everything in Glory Hounds so far. Twitter porn jump scare. Oh god, I would literally die. I feel like I should put something on here on how... Nah, I shouldn't. Should we play next? Yeah. This is... Twitter itself is a jump scare. It is, though. I'm just going to go ahead and, add the thing, fuck it, tennis aces. Oh, no, not that one. I'm gonna ignore that one. Outcasts. Or stakeout. Is it Stranded? Is like the game called Stranded? Like is this the game? This is... Yo, fuck it, let's just add Knights College. And what should the 4th option be? I am going to hide my display capture while I Google this. I didn't know if there actually was, because there's a lot of VNs out there. Ah, right. But no. Really, what should the what should the 4th option be? Stakeouts. Yeah, I actually did Google it. Stakeouts. itch.io. I'm not seeing it. I have to add a little thing at the end of it. Just yeah, I'm not seeing it. Wait, is this it? That is not it. Now, I didn't click on the images. Actually, someone commented it on the one, so I don't know if I'm going to regret that decision. I do not know if I'm going... Yeah, I do not know if I'm going to regret that decision. I highly doubt... I highly doubt I'm going to regret that decision. And, this one is actually going to last a bit longer than that, because there will be no stream on the 24th or 25th. Because holidays. So there will be no stream for a while, for for like 2 days. So yeah. Yep. Not much else can be said. So stay safe, have a good night. Yes, happy holidays, and I will see you all on the 26th, or if you're watching the VOD, I'll just see you tomorrow.